Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we talk about all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to talk about the pullback in the NFT market. Clemente is crying in the corner. He was so sad pre-show about this. It is unbelievable. He thought his JPEGs were back, but they're not. We're going to talk about the latest from the meme coin trenches, and we're going to talk about Artifact rugging their NFT project. We're going to start off today with a little vindication from our very own Choose Rich Nick here. So if anyone who's not familiar with the premier reporter in the NFT space, we're going to play a little clip from last.
Good morning from New York. 2 years ago, Nike acquired crypto fashion brand Artifact for a reported $1 billion sum, choosing to make Artifact's founders incredibly rich. Now, according to our sources, Nike's shutting down Artifact this year. Will that be a poor choice? I'll leave you to decide.
So Nick posted this and got a ton of feedback earlier this year. And we have a little vindication today, And if you thought Nick was going to take this like in an extreme manner, like no, he's going to take this nice and calm. He's going to be calm, collective. He's not going to dunk on the haters, right? He's not going to dunk on the haters. He's not going to be upset. We'll watch his nice, cool, collected response right now.
Oh, shit. Shout out to all the stupid fucking losers on the timeline that said I was wrong about Artifact. More like Artifact. Yo, for all those losers that saying I'm not a brilliant journalist, you're a dumbass. If I say it's going to rain, there's going to be a fucking hurricane. If I say that there's an acquisition, it's going to be the biggest acquisition that you've ever seen in your entire life. If I said that a bomb went off, it's going to be fucking nuclear. Y'all idiots who thought that I was wrong are a bunch of dumb losers. In fact, I'd like to name a few of them right now. Wizard of Soho, dumb. Joey Moose, show proof of funds, you loser. A digital wreck. I no idea who you are, you dumb.
Love this by Nick. Absolute vindication after getting absolutely mogged on the timeline forever with this call. The Artifact boys are out in force when he launched this original announcement, and he basically just got his revenge yesterday. Love to see it. What are your thoughts on this? Let's talk a little bit about this.
He needed. We were on a call when this happened, and seeing his reaction and seeing how fired up he was. I'm happy for him. He deserves this. He deserves his victory lap. But even then, it was caught up with some drama yesterday. There might be a boxing match now with a gentleman called Joey Moose, who Nick was calling, I think, broke or something like that. So I don't think this saga is anywhere near ending, Ray. I think this is just beginning as far as the Artifact place. But look, Nick is the best reporter in Web3. Who else is up there? I would say, okay, top two. Number one, Nick O'Neill. Number two, Tiffany Fong. They're neck and neck. Neck and neck. Crypto Reporters of the Year.
I mean, did Tiffany go to the Bahamas?
No, but she saw Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, but what was she breaking there? She's not breaking anything. Like she's like good at reporting, like interviewing. Like that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. Anybody can interview someone to break this news and then to go down to the Bahamas in search of SBF during the crash. That takes a special kind of person.
Yeah, I mean it went like 7 months too of him just having to eat it and just having to wait before it happened. But yeah, I mean, massive win for Nick. He deserves it. I'm excited for the next one because Nick loves to break some news. I'm very curious. If you have any hot tips, DM him at Choose Rich because this sure as hell won't be the last news that Nick breaks.
Funny comment by Sneaker Dad here. Tiffany has motion. Someone called her a hooker and bam, Twitter is suspended.
That was wild.
I don't know the story there, but I know that Elon's been like retweeting and commenting on a lot of her posts.
Elon unfollowed her.
Really?
Yeah. And then there was basically fake. Someone pulled news, and for people that don't know, Tiffany Fong is like a popular crypto Twitter, basically like influencer. She's been getting retweeted and quote tweeted by Elon Musk a lot. So her recent Twitter payouts have been like 20, 30, 40 grand. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, someone made a page basically saying that Tiffany Fong was a prostitute. And we're pulling pictures from her Instagram, made like a whole profile for her. And then Elon unfollowed her because of that. Or we're assuming it was because of that. He doesn't want the bad press. But yeah, very interesting turn of events for the #2 crypto reporter.
We're gonna jump into the weather report here in a minute. We'll let you guys fight over who's gonna run it. We're just gonna transition right away from that. And we're gonna go and talk about the partner for today's show, Tensor. Tensor is the leading NFT marketplace on Solana for pro traders, but not just that anymore. Not just that anymore. Now they've launched Vector. Vector is changing the meme coin trading game forever. I've been using this platform for a few weeks now, Easy and Clemente for a few months. This is an awesome meme coin trading project. You can trade not only on Solana, you can trade on Base and ETH. And the cool secret sauce of this is the social portion of this app. You can see broadcasts for people on the app. You can see what they're trading. You can see their P&L. You can see the leaderboard. So you can look and figure out who's making money, follow their plays, and make money right behind them. 8 Memes with Friends is their logo here, or not their logo, their slogan. Have a lot of fun here. Have fun watching these different people. Clemente is scrolling through the app now. Clemente is finally making money now that he can figure out what winners are doing and he can follow their trades. It's great to see in the meme coin space. Love working with Tensor. Love Vector. Love the product. Meme coins are so easy to trade on this on the go. A couple clicks and you're in. You can get a notification when somebody you're following buys. Makes it super easy to track. Not only does it help buying and selling, but also giving you the information in real time of broadcasts from people you follow. So if somebody's getting into a coin and they're broadcasting it, you can get that information right away. Even if you're not trading on the app, you can trade on other apps. You get that information right at your hand. So like, it's a ton of fun. We love working with Vector. Great product. And we've been using this, for what, months now, Easy? How long have you been trading with this?
I'd say 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. I don't know, a while. We like that to get into the beta access.
Yeah, and Easy's like worked with them to help feature subsets and stuff like that to make sure it's like the best platform for mobile trading. So a lot of excitement here. We've been waiting to like make an official announcement after they launched last week, but pretty excited. And if you're a Bodogos holder, we're gonna be releasing an access code today, limited use in the Discord.
Yeah, so we got our hands on some access codes. Also, Ray, I will say the mobile app experience is fantastic because you're not having to wait for like listings. Right, like Moonshot. This guy I was talking to this week, he's like just owns Chill Guy on Moonshot. He's a complete normie, and he was like trying to buy this other token, the Moon D token. He was like, "Oh, I can't buy it because it's not on Moonshot." I was like, "Vector is the app for you." So yeah, once we get some more of these access codes, I'm excited for everyone to get on there because I've been making some electric trades on there. You know who else is on there? I believe. Who's the guy that's throwing down like 20 grand on plays right now on Vector?
Soul Big Brain.
Soul Big Brain is just throwing his weight around. It's pretty impressive. So I'm going to start tailing him and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm looking at the leaderboard. D's got dethroned. D's have been absolutely dominating the leaderboard, but it looks like there's a weekly leaderboard that resets every 7 days. You can see who's like top in profits. D's has been absolutely dominating. Has been dethroned. He's down to number 5 now. So interesting to watch. I've been following his plays. He's been doing very well. He actually jumped on Easy's Monday play. Easy gave us this play in the Bodogos Discord at like 2 million. I think it ran up to 90. So huge cook. And cool to see other people buying the tokens you're in live time on Vector.
Yeah. It's always nice to see people buying your bags. I just checked my positions. I got clapped on these 2 plays I forgot I left open. I bought Bruh. That went from, I bought it at 750K. It's not 6K. I bought 1 soul worth of Slightly Autistic. That went from 1.2 million to 7K. So it's that wasn't great, but oh my God. All right. Yeah. I just checked how much I'm down today. Anyways, moving on.
Wait,
Vector.
what was the ticker called?
Slightly Autistic. I was like, that's relatable for people in crypto.
Should we drop the Vector codes in the Discord now?
Not now. We're gonna do a proper rollout for it.
Okay, we'll do a proper rollout. We'll do it a little later. Pay attention though. We'll let you know it's gonna happen. So be in the Bodogos Discord today if you want to get on the app. That being said, Why don't we do a weather report? Who wants to handle today's weather report?
Easy, you got a hot
got
shot.
it. Yep,
Oh, I can
Clemente's
do it.
on it.
I can do
Clemente's on
it.
it.
1 second,
We've
please.
never,
1
we've
second,
never,
please.
we've never had a Clemente weather report, so I think it's time.
We have. We've had
No,
a few.
we
We've
haven't.
had a few.
No, we haven't. No.
North
What was the last one? Date and time. Quick. Yep, exactly. Now you're just lying.
Give me a thumbs up on this volume real quick. Today's Tuesday, December 3rd, looking over at the crypto roundup. We got the market down on the day with Bitcoin below $94,000, Ethereum at 3,500, Solana at 218, and XRP at 239. I heard the North Koreans are up to something. I heard the Koreans are doing all kinds of crazy shit right now. But over the past 24 hours, we got Artifact announcing that they are winding down operations, just like we were talking about earlier, concluding in January 2025. Before shutting down, they also announced there will be one more NFT drop coming this month. They're going to make some more money for that one, I guess, before shutting things down. The CloneX floor is falling 40% to a 0.3 ETH floor. They have about 0.3 ETH more to go down, that it sounds like. Next up, Coinbase making a pair of big announcements yesterday. They have enabled Apple Pay as a payment method for cryptocurrencies, and they also announced the listing of the Mudang token. Rasmer with a big win there, with Mudang up over 90% on the day to a $600 million market cap. Lastly, more Bitcoin is on the move as major holders such as MicroStrategy acquired an additional 1.5 billion. That's with a B dollars worth of Bitcoin, bringing their total holdings over $38 billion. Jason Calacanis from the All In podcast has something to say about that. Later in the day, the U.S. government moved $1.9 billion worth of Bitcoin seized from Silk Road to new addresses. Look, the Koreans are bringing us down right now, but so it's looking cloudy. It's looking rainy over here, Ray. Back over to you in the studio.
What's going on with the Korean narrative? Excellent weather report, but what's going on?
I heard the Koreans are doing some crazy shit. I don't know. But all I see on Pump Fun on BullX is the North Korean cabal. I heard there was, I believe. I'm gonna just completely riff here. Let me just look up. North Korea declared martial law. South Korea, never mind. South Korea, even worse. Holy shit. South Korea martial law.
They love our crypto. That's not good. South Korea CTO, 1 million.
So President Yoon is just not playing. Can I pull this up? I mean, this is very interesting news here. Korea. So yeah, it was not North. It was the Southern Korea. This is as of right before we started the show. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol declared martial law in an unannounced late night address broadcast live on YTN television. Interesting. He's saying he has no choice but to resort to such a measure to safeguard free and constitutional order. Damn. Yo, this is not good, guys, huh?
What is martial law?
Is this why we're dumping?
That just means you can do whatever.
I'm pretty sure that's where they can just.
They can just like.
Oh,
yeah.
It's
like
yeah. So instead of a civilian government, it's replaced by military authority.
Yeah.
Damn. South Korea is a cool place. I've been there. Been to North Korea too.
So as the resident senior Korean correspondent, Easy Eats Bodega, what does this mean? So looks like we have.
Oh, we're fucked, dude. We're fucked.
Lots of red on the charts is what it means. The only thing that's green is like XRP.
No, go look at the H bar chart. Up 40% today.
Yeah, 32. H bar and XRP.
AVAX also up 7%.
All right.
I only know this because I did it earlier and actually went through the charts. FTM up like 9%. Just saying. All
right, so just Bitcoin, just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana down.
Yep.
Just my bag's down. Everything else up. Obviously, why not?
Solana back down to 220. Easy. What were the ranges you were looking at? Could we maybe do some charting?
Right about here. Yeah, one sec. Pulling up the charts. Stay tuned. Scanning.
Yeah, and I have a second question as well that we'll tee up because I saw Greeny posting a little bit on the timeline with his TA. I don't know, his TA is a little more superior than Easy's. I've seen them both in action. I think it's a battle here, but he's calling for $5,350 ETH eventually on this on the TA that he's providing here. I don't know if this is still holds. I mean, this was 2 days ago at this point. But this was his call after ETH broke out of the range he was looking at. So I want to hear about Easy. I want to hear about XRP, and then I want to hear about Greeny's TA, and if you agree or disagree on this.
I like Greeny's TA. I think that he was a little too excited though on this. I think we chop until the 7th. This day, the 7th. That's what I'm targeting here. December 7th, I anticipate chop. We did move down, retest off this fib. Now it looks like we should bounce in the next day or two. Bitcoin as well, bouncing off of a nice little Fibonacci, a little support line here, right there. Broke back down below it. The main thing I'm looking for on this, though, is keep it simple, stupid. Hold the uptrend. That's it. Let's hold an uptrend. We break down below that, and we probably dip towards like 80K. Nice
80K?
solid.
I mean, we're going to see
$80,000 US dollars.
Yeah, we're going to see some macro news coming out the next few days. We haven't talked about rate cuts in a bit. I want to look at the odds. I haven't looked at them yet. So we're going to see.
Yeah.
We're going to see some stuff tomorrow. We're going to see, I believe, some PMI numbers tomorrow, and some payroll.
Not too worried about those. Sol bounced Clemente 211.
That's what you're looking for.
Well,
211 on Solana.
Yeah, 211. 211.
I mean, it's already close.
210.64. $9.
But if Bitcoin goes to like 80s, Solana has to go sub 200. No,
Probably. We're probably looking at like 188, 190.
got it. Mike DeFi saying would love to scoop some Sol under $200. I think we all would.
I also like this guy. Can easily do some TA on his stellar pick Huz. Just because you're a dumbass and didn't set a sell limit when it hit 30 mil overnight, that's on you, idiot.
Got
Back
it.
to the
This is
studio.
an old token, I believe. This was the other
Huz.
Huz. Chill guy
Which
back
we
in the
posted
day.
in Wales, and you know that it hit the target. It hit the target. So Cyper, get better, not bitter, idiot.
Ooh.
All right, back to the studio.
Hey, Easy. So you said you don't really care about the numbers this week. We're seeing the rate cut in 2 weeks. Right now, I'm looking at odds on prediction markets, and I'm seeing a 25% chance for no rate cut. So it looks like there is some uncertainty that's not priced in
Surging.
yet. Yeah. So there's some I mean, there is some like I don't know. The market isn't sure right now. So I think there is room to go either way. What happens if we see like the rate cut pause in December? Like how does that affect the overall macro market in your opinion?
No rate cut would be bearish. Bearish. Because I think they're pricing in a rate cut.
Yeah, 75% chance though.
Yeah.
It's priced in to an extent.
I think they are pricing it in. So I don't know. That's where my head goes. I'm like, yikes. Real quick, I need to show this again. I'm gonna share this screen instead. They said 30 seconds it hit. Sir, it actually sat at 32 mil, not once but twice over a 4-hour window. So you're an idiot. You're an idiot because you didn't have time the exit. That's on you.
I mean, that's a Biden level call from Easy.
That's fine. That's fine. 1 sec. Let's take a look at Monday, because you could have made it all back on this one if you wanted. It's only up 22x from where it was shared. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, 4 hours is a lot of time to exit a meme coin. Like that's my bad. That's on you,
Yeah.
Chief.
When it comes down to it, you just got greedy. Everything we share isn't going
4
to
hours is a lot of time.
$1 billion.
This guy's saying a whole 4 hours. Cyper, that's a lot of time on meme coins. 4 hours is months in the trenches. Months.
Right. And you don't even need to like watch it over 4 hours. Like it's super easy to set a sell order on BullX.
Yeah.
Like, right? I mean, it takes 2
Yeah.
seconds. You said
And
you
it
said
would
it's
have hit
sell-
multiple times. But I digress. You can be upset. Get better, not bitter. That's it. That's the motto for today. Because when bags are down, everyone's pissed.
Yeah, right here. You call it. You say, you know what? I'm going to sell 100%. I'm going to sell it at what? Say 35 million. Let's not be too greedy.
Holy shit. Real quick. The Korean markets are actually selling off a ton.
Are we just smoked? What's going on here? What can you read
Bitcoin
this
dropped to
out even?
79. Yeah, huge crashes happening in Korean crypto markets with many coins down 20 to 40% following the announcement of martial law by the current president. Bitcoin fell to 79K. This is in Korean.
Is this a buy the news or buy the like blood event here? I feel like if you're in Korea and they declare martial law, I feel like maybe is it people withdrawing from the centralized exchanges? Is that
Maybe, to be honest, I don't really know.
because I would be taking my money if I was in South Korea and I saw this, I'd be like trying to get everything self-custody right now. Like that would be
Probably.
like step number one is like pull everything off exchanges, self-custody everything. I wouldn't be selling it into Korean dollars. Like if there's a scenario where the government is potentially, rogue. I don't know if that makes sense to you, or it's just my initial thoughts looking at a sell-off here. Maybe it's like liquidity is getting pulled. I bet we see like markets having issues with withdrawals and delays in withdrawals. I think that could be a problem. But crypto is kind of like the one asset that, fights against government overreach.
Yeah. That's it. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't really know much about martial law. So like, I don't really know what to think.
They can just use military, and I'm not an expert either, but they can just use military force to do things, to basically have more power than they usually do. I'm looking into it now, and apparently the president in South Korea has had his approval rating go down significantly and was likely going to get impeached from what I'm seeing on Twitter, and then declared martial law, basically saying this is needed to protect the constitutional rights within South Korea. So we'll see. Category 5 says Korea does this every 5 years. It's basically a nothing burger. Interesting. Yeah, we'll keep monitoring this, but it certainly isn't looking too pretty as of right now. Yikes.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, is it a buy the news opportunity? Maybe.
I don't think it's a black swan event.
No. Yeah, so on the Wu blockchain, Bitcoin fell as low as 66.5 and XRP all the way down to 116.
Somebody said they do this every 5 years. It's the first time in 44 years that the martial law has been declared in Korea.
So Daddy Nick has experience in martial law. Daddy Nick doesn't miss, dude. Daddy Nick doesn't miss. Curfews, barricades, you can't move freely, and military is posted everywhere. Typically, a coup follows. Wow. Not fun. Don't having fun yet.
People inside in Korea trying to gamble money. They could be inside. They're not going to be able to participate in stuff outside. They're going to need to go to the metaverse, and they're going to need digital asset avatars to flex in the metaverse. Maybe some land. Buy Sandbox, buy NFTs. Yeah, that's the play here, right? And the silence speaks volumes. And speaking of NFTs, let's go over to the NFT marketplace. Let's take a look at ETH NFTs right now. Down bad. Clemente was basically like in tears in the pre-show green room when we showed him the NFT charts. He was so upset. Saw all the bags that were green and he was getting ready to FOMO in. They're all red now, except for basically big art. Like Winds of Yawanawa up 60% to 13 ETH. I saw Fidenza on a massive cook. I don't know why it's not showing up on Blur, but they're up to 60 ETH now. Clemente, is it over for JPEGs? Are you upset? Are you leaving the Web3 space now?
Well, if you look at the 7 days, it still looks very good for our illiquid JPEGs. 7-day change for most collections still looks good. If you can click on that, actually, if you can just go by 1 day volume, Ray, and then we look at some of these collections like Bored Apes, is that up 62% in the last 7 days? Mutants up 70, like Pudgy Penguins up 25%. I think a slight pullback is okay. I also don't think we have, like, I wasn't ready to call it NFT season is back at all. Like, we still need new users back. It's encouraging, right? But if we still need more people to make money in crypto, to feel rich in order to buy some of these kind of luxury assets almost. It was great to see, but like I haven't deployed. I'm basically like almost fully out of NFTs compared to like obviously I still own some, but compared to like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I had like 50% of my crypto portfolio in NFTs, which was pretty absurd. So that's completely shifted, and I think most people feel the same, and possibly FOMO'd in to buy some NFTs, feeling like, oh, I'm gonna kind of chase this pump. Pio has been talking about a 4-year cycle for NFTs. CryptoPunks are interesting. CryptoPunks have just been steadily rising. They're at 44 ETH now. I believe they were at like 25 a month and a half ago. But yeah, like I don't know. People are saying I wanted to buy a Sappy Seal. I did want to buy one. That was my FOMO speaking, and I didn't buy one, and it turned out to be a good decision. Yeah, I don't think it's time to FOMO into any NFTs right now, to be honest, Ray. Other than like CryptoPunks, maybe Bored Apes, Pudgy Penguins, right? Like those top 3 feel like solid. Obviously, Mad Lads as well. Like the top things maybe feel interesting, but buy Bodago, of course. But yeah, like I don't feel any FOMO. There's other than like the top 5 would be like good to get one. A Bitcoin puppet would be an ordinal one.
Kind of interested in Zeroborn here.
Zeroborn at 4 soul.
Yeah,
I'm not
a
touching.
little interested. Little interested in this. I think this is one that can outpace the Memecoin potentially if we hit like an NFT cycle.
I just
it goes bananas. That's going to be like the PFP of choice.
I've never understood Zeroborn, to be honest. I've never been a big like Zeroborn fanboy. I faded these at 2.5 soul when Easy and the crew were talking about them, and they pumped to like 10 soul, right? So if we're talking about like all-time highs compared to relative highs, yeah, I'm more like Retardio Cousins at 17 soul. That's kind of interesting. The Retardio token is literally down sub 100 mil now, though, which is not good.
Yeah, so like my thought process is looking at like I think that the ratio can flip on those two. Is my thought. Like AI is the meta. This could be like the AI coin. It's positioning itself as like the culture coin for AIs. Like it's not going to be AI XBT. GOAT is kind of its own thing. Like Zeroborn is launching albums. Like it's taking the culture aspect of it. So you're looking at Retardio Cousins with a $95 million market cap and a Retardio Cousin 17 Solana floor. And then you're looking at Zeroborn at a 4 Solana floor and a $250 million market cap. Obviously, you can't do like these comparisons as it's not apples to apples. And Retardio Cousins with Miladies and stuff have built the culture over years in this NFT space. I just think that we could see a potential shift where that flips for Zeroborn. If Zeroborn becomes like this $1 billion, $2 billion token, which I think it has the potential to be in the AI space, if we see this AI run, I think those Zeroborn NFTs could be a very
MOG just got the Coinbase listing.
Yeah, we got some breaking news here. MOG has been will be listed on Coinbase. That is insane. Nice
My
little
bags.
Woo! God damn.
Love to see it.
Worth that. Wait. MOG to be listed on Coinbase. This is 24 hours after it was announced to list Moodang. And Moodang is at 600 mil right now. This makes MOG the lowest. Oh, wait, no, MOG's at 1 bill.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
MOG's at 1 billion?
It's hit $1 billion before, briefly with the Murad hype.
Murad in the dumpster portfolio.
Yeah. I loved your tweet about Murad delivering your food yesterday. Easy. That was a good one.
A DoorDash. That is a
that really-
god candle.
Yeah.
What does this mean? They just it hasn't been listed yet, so there's just speculation on it getting listed. Basically, is what we're
It will
seeing.
be listed. It's on the roadmap. If it's on the roadmap, it means it will be listed.
Got it. This feels like one that normies would buy. Like people seeing MOG, they'd be like,
Yeah, I think so too.
That's a big win. Banks was early.
He's never late. He's never late.
Let's go. Okay, cool. Damn. I mean, congrats to the MOG community.
Kid
That's a
Money
big-
is going to be very happy.
Dude, he's gonna do his little victory lap. Well deserved. Well deserved. He's been on that for a while. You know what I'm curious about is what does this mean for my very illiquid and vaporous MOG Aura NFTs?
Well, let's look at those. Let's take a look at Mongo.
I'm down so much on these. Should I buy another one?
These rascals.
Dude, why are these not pumping?
We need to do like a competition where you have to like change your PFP to like something like super dumb that you bought. Like you make a prediction, you buy these, you make a prediction on them, and then like it doesn't come true, you have to PFP this for like a month.
I mean, I think these are sick. I think these are sick.
No, you don't. You do not think these are sick.
Yeah, I'm buying another one right now. Live on the show. Live on the show. What's gas? If gas is too much on ETH, I'm not buying this shit.
Okay, classic.
$26 in gas.
Point 0.13 is fine throwing $300, $400 to this, but the $26 in gas is what gets them.
Let's go. Let's go. Boom. Just bought it. Mogor is
So
coming home. Come home to daddy.
Your bet is that Mogora's gigasend on the back of Coinbase Listing MOG for what reason?
Look, there is 420 trillion MOG. There's only 2,300 Mogoras. And it's going to take another 30 minutes for my transaction to go through. It looks like, dude, look at my NFT portfolio.
This port's a dumpster fire, brother.
This is tough. This is really tough.
Dude, mine's just all Rust artwork at this point. I think I've gotten rid of everything. I just have like 50 Rust pieces and then like a couple like random dust things that I just can't even sell. Absolutely absurd.
Damn. So MOG is now up 23%, 1.1 bill. Little all-time high here. So
is that all-time high?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh no, it reached previous all-time high slightly higher. Slightly
So
higher.
you're just lying. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever get excited when you open up Blur and you look at like your holdings and you have a bunch of stuff that's worth like an ETH, and then you look into it and you're like, oh, it's just because no one buys this. Everyone's delisted it because they're expired and everyone forgot about the collection.
Yep. I have this thing called like this trees, like WTF trees or something like that. They are awesome because it says my portfolio is up 700 ETH. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Floor of my NFT project is up to 0.2.
Wow. Big.
I did like a random AI project way back in the day for free just to like test out minting and stuff. Like some people.
1.2. How many sales?
None. Maybe a couple.
Check it out.
Maybe a
There you
couple
go.
friends. Total. I don't even know. I don't even know if I can find it, to be honest. It's probably not even showing here.
Dude, I wonder what the next coin on Coinbase is gonna be.
Literally what I was
guy.
I think chill guy, dude. Just
You think?
dude, I'm just a chill guy trying to front run a Coinbase listing. I'm just chill.
Anybody-
I'm so
Did
chill.
anybody front run these listings that we can like follow their wallets? Just the
Track. ETH is so much harder because ETH's such a clusterfuck.
I know that Pick shared a couple with the Pnut Binance listing.
Yeah, that one was clear.
There was
Oh
like,
yeah, someone said probably Pnut. I forget that Pnut. Popcat doesn't have a listing either, which is pretty crazy.
I think they just listed MOG. I don't think they'll go competing cats. So
Yeah.
maybe they just diversify their animals. They go peanut, they go squirrel, cat,
And then a
whatever.
chill guy.
What is a chill guy? Is that like a capybara?
No, he's just a chill guy. What do you mean? He's just
What kind of
Peanut's
animal?
Yeah.
1.1 billion right now.
What is?
Dude, Peanut is washed.
Peanuts
And
at
then I say
1.1
that and
billion?
it's gonna pump to like 3.
What the fuck? Why is this 1.1 billion?
Because it's on Binance, dude. The volume that Binance does is ridiculous. Dude, Mando and OSF were right about Mudang. I'll give them
Yeah.
that. Rasmer was right about Mudang. Kook Capital was right about Mudang. They won.
Yeah,
They won.
for context, people we spoke to Mando and OSF, and they were both like, dude, the perps volume on Mooding is literally absurd. We own a shit ton of it because of that. And it's done, I think, like a 2x since that.
Yeah, they're up just a small couple homes.
Yeah. They're up
the equivalent of South Korea's GDP right now under martial law.
Dude, I bought. Okay, no, I don't want to. Yeah, I bought Korea CTO.
It's at 2.5 mil.
Yeah.
What'd you get in at?
Frank. Okay, I need to talk to Frank. We need to get Frank on the show at some point. Look at this guy's trading activity. He buys 5K worth, sells it on the way down, rebuys it at 1.6, buys another like 5K worth, sells it for basically break even, and now he's rebought another 1K worth at 2.5. We
Insane.
need some analysis into this guy's brain, because what is going on here, Frankie? Wow. 40K realized P&L in the last 12 hours, or something's going well here.
Not too shabby.
Very interesting. He trades like a madman, though.
Like absolute psychopath. Like a literal psychopath.
There's this Orca wallet that's like a bot that runs sniping pairs on Pump Fun, and I made the mistake of following that wallet.
No, it dumps.
Briefly.
I just bought Gangnam, the #1 Korean dance.
I like
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let's do a
Just
little-
bonded.
little
Just
trench
bonded,
here.
82K. Just bonded right there, top right. It's nice.
It's a good
Oh,
one.
it's sending. It's sending. It's
I literally
sending.
just clicked
It's
buy
sending.
now by accident when I wanted to click.
Oh,
into it.
Frank just bought. Great.
Sell it now. Sell it now.
Yep, dumping.
We'll do a little live buy here.
Gangnam. Very good.
It's the #1 Korean dance, dude.
Speaking of the #1 Korean,
Choose Rich Nick.
There he is.
What are you guys trading there?
South Korea has martial law, brother.
they declared martial law, so we're just trading meme coins based off of the news.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty bullish.
Man, I got wrecked on a token this morning.
What'd you buy?
I followed someone in on Vector NF Tim. He's just fucking swinging L's, and I'm like, I was like following him in with 5 sold buys.
Oh God.
And dude, just getting absolutely fucking slaughtered. I lost $1,000 just like straight out the gate.
Well, you could have bought South Korea CTO, which is up to a $2.5 million market cap.
Why are they under martial law?
Because the president's not very liked.
Yeah, the other party might win the next election.
So they
What's
think there might be
wrong?
a coup.
Basically, yeah. What I've seen from the basically, I'm right now. I'm in on South Korean Twitter, and it would appear that they're not huge fans of the South Korean president, and there was a chance that he would get impeached, and he just declared martial law. His reasoning was to protect the Constitution and to make sure that South Korea stays on track. So, yes. Also, Nick, I don't know if you saw this. MOG was just listed. Was announced that it was going to get listed on Coinbase. So we're seeing a lot of the commenters get excited about that.
Interesting. So, you see that guy about fighting me? How that's gone down?
Yeah, what's
You
the
gonna
deal
do
there?
it?
I'm very
I-
excited to talk about this.
What's that?
I have no idea what happened. Can you provide the context on this? I just saw like the fighting and accusations at the end. So I missed all the context on what's happening here. I know you were in a space for like 2 hours yesterday, just like ripping on Artifact.
So basically, this guy comes on stage. He's been tweeting. He was like, "I'm gonna, I want to take over Moonbirds," and he kept making offers. Then now that Artifact came out, he made some offers as well. So he comes on stage and he's like, "I'm Joey Moose. You may know me as Joey Moose, aka blank, aka." Blank, aka whatever it is. Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
While Nick is doing that, yeah,
So he hops on and says all this shit, and so then I'm like, and I stop him in the midst of him doing the AKA. I'm like, bro, no one knows who you fucking are. Like, dive into like what did you want to say? So he brings up his CTO basically, or whatever. He wants to like go and take this over, and he's offering $10 million. And he's like, I'll even go up to 15. Then I'm like, do you have proof of funds? I was like, otherwise, like, you're just LARPing. So he basically, and then I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. Like, so he then goes on to Twitter and just basically gets like butt hurt over how I made him feel bad on the Twitter space. Like, he was like super butthurt. And I was like, okay, dude. I was like, whatever, like, suck it up. You're acting like you're a teenager, basically. I was like, how old are you? Let me guess, under 27? And he's like, yeah, 26. And I'm like, okay, well, you're behaving like that.
Hey, Nick, I want to jump in. Do you frequently add a smiley face at the end of your DMs?
What do you mean?
Clemente, bring that DM up again.
Yep, pulling it up.
Just scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, no, he does. Nick uses smiley faces a lot.
You're not.
I do.
He loves a good smiley face.
Yeah, I was just curious. It just seemed interesting to me. It just stood out from that tweet.
That's
Sorry
not
to
a
interrupt.
DM. That's a reply. Oh, that one.
DM.
Oh, this DM.
So
I don't even know what this fucking thing is proving. I don't understand what this. I sent him a message saying, "Hey, you want to come on our space?" This was like a long time ago. I think we were in like a Moonbird space, and then, anyways, so then he's like, "I'm gonna box," or like, "I challenge you to a boxing match," and I said, "How about you show proof of funds?" My guess is I don't need to box you to prove you're a clown. And basically at this point, so he made a video. I don't know which one is him.
he's the guy in the moose thing. He's
At
the
the
one
end.
doing his PFP. Yeah, with his PFP, like basically dress him as a costume. I'll play this video real quick. He responds. Yeah. So Nick calls him out. He says, unless you show like proof of funds, if you show proof of funds, I'll box you. And he responds with this, which I thought it was actually pretty good.
Have 10 mil to buy artifact?
Ready for moose? Here's your proof of funds. Learn to read. The ball's in your mouth, Nick. Stop dodging the fight. It's for charity.
So for people listening on Twitter Spaces, he responds basically with 14 million on his MetaMask with his ledger plugged into the computer, and showing proof of funds. So now Nick, as of last night, was saying he might be having to box this guy.
I may have to fucking box him now. He said he's 5'8" and 160. He looks like he's maybe like 5'4" and 160. He looks like a wrestler, like with those thick thighs. So I'm wondering.
The thick thighs is crazy.
Look at his. Go back and watch that video.
All right,
I didn't pick it up on the first watch. Just look a little closer.
Yeah, let's
take
observe
a
his
video
thighs.
of him and look at his.
He's got moose thighs.
Oh yeah, those are some thick thighs right there,
Dude, and he looks like he's like a middle school wrestler.
Those
Nick, do you
thighs
think
are-
you'd win though? Is the question.
I mean, I think it would be an interesting fight. On a wrestling standpoint, he would definitely beat me.
Nick, I'd say we get you on some gear. We get you in the lab. We bulk you up quite nicely. You'll fail the piss test, but like at the same time, if he backs out because of that, then he's the pussy. So like, it's a
Cardio.
one-way situation.
It's a cardio fight. It's not going to be a strength thing. We're going to have to get Nick running like today to get him into shape for the fight. I think that if Nick took training and diet actually super duper serious, I think that Nick would win because Nick has real aggression in him. So from that,
He's an angry little guy.
I think Nick would be down. I think Nick would be down to really hurt somebody in a fight situation. And so I think those factors, but the cardio would be the biggest factor. So if Nick really took training seriously and diet seriously, I'd put all the chips on Nick, but I just don't know how realistic that part is.
Someone said he looks like a bowling pin taking a dump. What does that even mean?
How big is the kid? He said his height and weight.
He said he's 5'8" and 160, but I just don't believe it.
What? Why? Why don't you believe that?
Because I'm basically 5'8" and 160. This is like, it's literally I'm somewhere between 5'8" and 5'9". He's saying that he's the same height and weight, but our bodies look completely different.
Do they look completely different? Because they
look at his thighs. He looks like I said, a middle school
thigh analysis again.
He looks like a middle school wrestler.
Enhance zoom.
He looks like a guy that's 5'9". Like, what are you talking about?
The thigh analysis is the funniest shit, dude.
He's 5'9", 160. Look at the kid. He's right there. That's how big he is.
Bro, my legs do not look like that. I'm just letting you know.
They kind of do.
Maybe he's 5'7" then, and he's saying he's 5'9", which is super normal. Dude, he's the he looks like that sounds about right. Make a video where he gets on the scale.
He does have big feet. I mean, these are large feet.
He might be wearing bigger shoes. Young guys.
Yeah, they only had the certain size in the artifact stuff, so he had to get the 10x size. Yeah.
Nick, would you take training seriously if you had to box this guy?
I mean, I feel like I'm forced to at this point in time. I was talking shit. Now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to fucking like actually get after it.
I would love that, man. If you really took training seriously, I think that would be incredible. I think it would change your life.
Change your life, Nick. You have the opportunity to change your life or leave it the same right now.
Can you show us some moves? Is there any like?
Yeah, can we get a couple punches?
Yeah, here we go.
You want a punch?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Look at that, huh? Whoa.
Okay, can we get a knee?
Well, he's not going to need the knee.
You never know.
Unless it goes to karate combat.
Very interesting.
Karate combat's significantly more dangerous.
That's way more involved. I think a boxing match is a better thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Can we roll back that tape and do some analysis on it later today, PL? See what kind of pop we have, what kind of rotation. I'm really interested to break this down, like full tilt.
I did wrestling in middle school for literally like a day.
Oh, so you have experience.
Extensive experience. I did Taekwondo.
Now we're talking.
For an extended period of time. For years, actually.
Okay.
But I don't think that my flexibility is at the same level that it was at that point in time, where I could kick over my head.
But you don't need that for boxing.
But I remember beating the absolute shit out of some kid.
Okay.
And he was really fucking pissed. And we went into the locker room and he tried to like beat me. He tried to get in a cheap punch. Like literally I'm just changing clothes in the locker room and he comes up and tries to hit me. And it was absolutely ridiculous. I had to throw him on the floor and beat the shit out of him until his mom came to save him.
Yes.
The sneak attack while you're changing is crazy.
Yeah, because you're disappointed. It was kind of fucked up that they like put me up against a little child. It was an actual child.
Hey Nick, I hate to beat you when you're down, but I kind of want to change the topic a little bit here, and I'm really interested in your take here. Punks. The floor is approaching what your punk got purchased for from ZK at 52 ETH at 190K back in May. Are you feeling FOMO on punks at all? Would you consider buying back?
I'm pretty pissed about how that went down.
Yes, I mean, you sold at 42 ETH, worth about 132K at that point, and yours is like what, 20% markup off floor? A little more. Are punks a trade here?
Well, it seems like the apes were the main thing. So yeah.
I mean, we made a nice ape purchase the other day. That's up big.
We're up bigly on that one.
What do we get that for? We're up to 20 ETH floor now on apes.
We got the ape for 13.
Not too shabby.
That's more than 50%, if my math is correct.
Yeah, we're up 7 ETH on that. How much is ETH right now?
Just about
$6.
0 after the South Korea.
We're up 25,000.
Damn.
Which is pretty good.
So at what point are you going to start full-time trading and just not worrying about the business anymore?
What are you talking about?
I mean, you can make 25K on a quick flip here. Why don't you just do some trading? We don't need to worry about operations, videos, all that.
Bro, 25K is like what I spend on a Wednesday.
No, that's fair.
Dude, I don't know about the punk thing. I don't know about it.
You don't know about it, like you don't think it's a good trade. You're not sure.
Well, I think if you can get a punk, it's probably worthwhile. I shouldn't have sold it. Is the reality?
But what was the ETH amount you paid for it?
He paid.
Well, at that time, I spent like 96 ETH or something like that.
Wow. So, and what's the ETH floor now?
But you're missing, like, ETH was like $1,000 at that point.
Yeah, but US dollars doesn't matter. All that matters is what
Well, it was. I converted US dollars to go buy the punk. So that was I ended up selling up in US dollars. I bought it for like 95. I sold it for 135.
Right. But I'm saying that NFTs only matter if they outperform the crypto asset, because otherwise you would have just been better off holding the crypto asset. So you bought it for 94 ETH, you sold it for 42 ETH.
And then I kept that ETH.
Got it. I mean, regardless, it's a rough one because you cut the ETH in half. So if you had 94 ETH right now,
I wouldn't have held that ETH though.
Well, that's a you thing. But I mean, like when you're looking at NFTs, 94 times 3580. So really, that's 336K that you spent on it.
Well, I don't know if you can frame
but
it
you
like
can't.
because
You
could have
literally can't. That's a ridiculous. That
is Solana.
You're talking at the same time as me. Dude, that's a ridiculous claim. That's not what happened.
I mean, when I look at NFTs, I'm like, is this going to outperform the asset? Because otherwise, you're better off holding the asset. So, like when I bought the Pudgies, my bet was that the Pudgies were going to outperform ETH, and they have.
So I bought Pudgies. I have little Pudgies. That was for the purpose of outperforming ETH. I bought the punk because I thought the US dollar price of that punk was cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're buying it in US dollars, you're basically just making that trade individually. Otherwise, you could just say like, okay, it didn't outperform ETH, but like ETH didn't outperform Solana. Like you can just keep going up the ladder until you like get to like, okay, well, I should have put it in X asset because that went up the most in that time frame. Obviously, it wasn't the best trade, but it was a 40K net gain.
Yeah.
Well,
in cap.
Ultimately, I held on to it. So technically, whatever that 42 ETH is, what's that worth right now? 42 times 3582. That's $150,000.
Yeah, I look at that as like a second trade, though. Just deciding to essentially like keep it in ETH versus USD. Like that's just a second trade on ETH after you sold the punk.
My thesis was that the ETH would outperform the punk. I was wrong.
I think the punk's going to get back to the 94 ETH.
You think it's going back to 94?
Probably. Yeah. I think the punks probably go to $1 million. I don't know if it's this cycle, but it's like the NFT. Those and Bored Apes are like the NFTs.
I mean, like last cycle, we were talking about CryptoPunks going to 1 million last cycle. And if we do get a proper NFT cycle this cycle, I have to imagine that that number is more attainable because we hit like, what, 500K on punks?
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring up the history now in USD, but pretty crazy numbers we hit there.
Yeah, I think they'll go to 1 million.
Might go to like 10 million over the next 30 years, dude. It could get really weird. Carlin Hood said, what to purchase before 2025? AVAX. Staked ape coin.
FTM, AVAX, near.
Micro fucking strategy.
I don't know about that one.
Okay. Yo, someone clip this one. Clip this. It's December 3rd. Clip it. Play it back on March 18th.
Yeah, play it back in 30 years. 12/3/2054. Give us the set. Remind me now.
You pulling up this retard, Ray? Jason,
I am. I've had these queued up for you since yesterday. I've been curious on your take of these takes.
Let's do it tomorrow.
So Jason tweets that he had some questions for Sailor for his space on Monday. The first one I'm not as interested in. If you take loans out to buy Bitcoin, what happens if Bitcoin goes down before you repay them? We've talked about that a number of times here. But the second one, I really want to ask you, Pio, if people want Bitcoin exposure, why should they pay $3,000 per Bitcoin through MicroStrategy and
$300,000?
Yes, sorry, $300,000 per coin through MicroStrategy and hand your keys over to them instead of buying it directly? That's my question.
So I don't want to do deep analysis of MicroStrategy right now because it's the end of the show, and
because the math's bullshit,
and because Nick's here. But I can do it another time for sure.
Okay, yeah, we'll table it because I'm very interested in seeing. Like, I know you love Bitcoin. I know you love MicroStrategies. It seems like you might like MicroStrategies a bit more than Bitcoin.
No, it's not. It's not that I like it more. I do think it's going to outperform Bitcoin aggressively. I think that you could make an investment thesis around it solely on the principle that Jason Calacanis is fading it. I solely think that you can counter trade Jason and it'd be massively, massively successful to you. So I view him as like a really good indicator of the potential strength of the asset. The fact that he's like, I don't understand it. Why would you do something like this? Bah, 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 bah. He's saying he called Sailor a Meshuggah, which for those of you that know Yiddish means a crazy person.
Yeah, we are seeing some comments from the audience. Jason on top of the mid-curve peak waving the flag from eBrink. Yeah, we don't have to dive into it, but I am curious to like see where your thoughts process is on like that versus Bitcoin and like what a like proper like ratio of your portfolio should be.
The Bitcoin guys say that it should be 99% Bitcoin, 1% MicroStrategy. And that's like an insanely conservative take. Obviously, that's the same thing as TradFi people saying that crypto should only be 1% of your portfolio or Bitcoin should only be 1% of your portfolio. That's, you know, that's just that really conservative perspective. For me, I spent the entire bear market really aggressively buying Bitcoin, right? So I have like a good amount of actual Bitcoin. I also bought MicroStrategy. I bought more Bitcoin than I did MicroStrategy. Now I'm accumulating MicroStrategy for a number of reasons. Really because it's clearer than ever that it's going to be one of the most valuable companies in the world. It'll realistically be similar to how we have Magnificent 7. It'll either replace one of the Magnificent 7 or it'll become, you know, the Magnificent 8. And MicroStrategy will be in there. It will be $1 trillion plus company, probably closer to 2 or 3 trillion, and go on a crazy run like Nvidia did. He's got 10x more Bitcoin than anyone else. That buy that got published yesterday puts them above 400,000 Bitcoins, and the only global entity that we know of that has more is the United States government. And now that the United States government the U.S. government is going to be hard to compete with, especially if the strategic Bitcoin stockpile does actually come to light. And so, essentially he's building like a Bitcoin bank of sorts. They're the largest issuers of Bitcoin bonds. And you're just seeing like kind of Bitcoin start to eat the bond market. You're going to see it start to eat like the real estate market. This thing's a fucking rocket ship, and it's not going to stop. And the higher the stock price goes, the more Bitcoin that he can afford. There's obviously a tremendous amount of volatility. I'm not suggesting that there's
I saw some math that was essentially the basis was you said the higher the stock price goes. Is that because he's actively selling the stock? What they were implying was that he's selling a percentage of he's selling stock as the price goes up.
Well, he's actually issuing more stock. So he's debasing MicroStrategy stock to acquire more Bitcoin.
But so from that standpoint,
why would you want the stock and not Bitcoin?
Because the stock, you wouldn't want the stock and not Bitcoin. You want Bitcoin, but if you want to invest in the company MicroStrategy that has a really good chance of outperforming Bitcoin and essentially becoming a first of its kind company that can do a ton of unique stuff because of the amount of Bitcoin that it has in the future. Not really. It's doing unique stuff right now with the Bitcoin bonds and the entire Bitcoin accumulation strategy. So it's already doing unique stuff. But the idea is that in the future, it will be able to do a lot of unique things as a Bitcoin bank of sorts when nobody else can even come close. They have 10x more Bitcoin than any other publicly traded company, and they have 3 or 4x more Bitcoin than all other publicly traded companies combined.
They have more than 2% of the circulating supply of Bitcoin, which is wild.
Correct. And not stopping. Another $21 billion worth will be purchased in the next 3 years.
But they're trading at a multiple to their underlying Bitcoin, which
Correct.
I don't understand why that ends up happening. I understand that it's a leverage trade and that's viewed as like a 3x Bitcoin like stock basically. But I don't understand the math of why it's actually, the only leverage is the debt, is the issuing of debt versus both he's selling stock, which in theory dilutes the stock, right?
Yeah. I have one question for you. So Microsoft has a market cap of $3.2 trillion. Do you know how much cash they have on hand?
No, but 300 billion?
65 billion. So they have 65 billion cash on hand.
You're not including their they're like that may be cash. You got to include like marketable securities, like short-term assets, basically. So like money market accounts, things like that.
Sure. Well, that would include money market accounts. But if there's
really?
There's a ton of other assets on the books, I'm sure. But the point I'm making is, so you're not just buying Bitcoin when you buy MicroStrategy. You're buying a publicly traded company. And people will point out like, oh, well, it's a legacy software business. It was trading at $6 a share. It's still that, but it's also the future Bitcoin bank. And so you're just investing in a company at this point. People like investing in that. I like investing in that. I'm never selling the shares. I can't wait to see what it becomes. I'm not buying Bitcoin with MicroStrategy. If I'm going to buy Bitcoin, I just buy Bitcoin. I'm buying MicroStrategy.
But the revenue of their business is not like increasing over time. Like the actual revenue. Instead, they're just leveraging all of it to buy Bitcoin.
Correct.
Which is the vast majority of their asset. If you're to compare the actual cash flow of their business versus Bitcoin, they're basically 90% plus Bitcoin at this point in time versus like revenue out of the business.
They're going to be the biggest Bitcoin company in the world. They already are basically, but they're going to be like light years ahead of any other publicly traded company when it comes to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's going to be the most sought after asset in the world. It kind of already is. Costs $100,000 a coin almost.
Yeah, so they have 78 billion as Microsoft.
Are there any other comps? I'm curious for like commodities companies. Like there's no like comp for someone who would like deal in investing in gold or like holding gold or holding silver or oil or anything like that in the way that MicroStrategy is holding Bitcoin, right?
I think that you could look at Saylor's been drawing comparisons, to Rockefeller and crude oil, and transforming crude oil into usable, gasoline and refined oil, products. And that's basically what's happening with MicroStrategy. Bitcoin's the crude oil, right? So you can buy crude oil all day long. Crude oil as a commodity, you can buy it all day long. But what's worth more, and by the way, I'm not telling people to not buy Bitcoin, because as you know, I talk about buying Bitcoin, of course. But what's worth more, buying the commodity of oil or buying a corporation that refines that oil into products that are sold at scale?
That makes sense.
So Sir Heavy Bags is talking about the Bitcoin specific strategy. He's absolutely right. But markets are forward looking and people are looking at the future of MicroStrategy. Having said that, I do think that it'll go way up and then it'll go way down. So I don't want to communicate that there isn't going to be a tremendous amount of vol. If Bitcoin pulls back right now to even 75K, which is an easy pullback for a volatile asset like Bitcoin, MicroStrategy stock's going to go down 2x. Or 2.5x, or maybe even 3x in terms of how far down it goes. So it's a volatile ass stock. But yeah, I mean, it's getting attention now because last cycle people were just excited about a corporation buying Bitcoin, and he essentially started buying it late compared to where he's at now. Now, because the last 3 or 4 years has, the kind of fruits of his labor are manifesting, all of a sudden people are paying attention to it. It's not going to stop. The thing's going to go to $1 trillion, and it's less than 100 billion, or I think actually today it's up today, so it's over 100 billion now.
It says 76 billion on Google Finance.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. There's a lot of room to run to a T.
Well, they're valued at 76 billion, but they have 4.7 billion in assets. So there's still a pretty high multiple on that. I don't know. I own it. I own it. I'm here hoping that it actually continues to go up. I just don't understand the actual math. I hear what you're saying on the oil refining. In theory, when you say we're building products with Bitcoin, or we're going to be the Bitcoin bank, okay, so. Well, what does that even mean? I'm setting up a bank so that I can go and deposit my Bitcoin at MicroStrategy?
No, more like with lending and other financial instruments, whether those financial instruments look like the financial instruments that are available to us today, or similar to Bitcoin bonds, they're brand new financial instruments that we've never seen before because, things evolve. Technology moves things forward. Daddy Nick said Sailor should go on All In and body the panel. Jason had the nerve to invite Sailor to his B podcast, not the A podcast of the All In podcast. Invited him to the B podcast. Sailor didn't want to go, and then Jason went on there and called him a Meshuggah. And then Sailor unfollowed him on Twitter. So that ain't gonna happen.
That's tough. Well, it's been a good show. We got a wrap here. We were coming up on an hour and 15 minutes. Really excited to hear more MicroStrategy talk. Honestly, I'm curious as to which direction this goes, and it's just an interesting thing in my head, watching PO go between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy when there are a lot in the Bitcoin community that are kind of opposed to MicroStrategy in a sense. Looking at the Bitcoin maxis. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you, everybody, for listening. You can catch us on all major podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify. You can catch us on YouTube, see what we're looking at, check out the charts, check out our beautiful faces. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great Tuesday.